up, Digilog fam? It's your host, Felicia, and today I'm sitting down with CD, who is a singer and songwriter. CD is an R&B songstress from Melbourne, Australia. We're thrilled to have you today. We're excited to just jump into your journey and your early beginnings. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And I wanted to first congratulate you on the release of your new single, Catch a Grip, featuring Pania, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. So even though you've had so much success already, you're still relatively new to the music scene. Talk about how you got started.
Okay. Um, well, I'd been singing for my whole life, basically. But I never really started making my own music until I finished school. So I was probably about 18 when I really started writing songs. So I only really started making music maybe 4 years ago. My partner was starting out too, but he was sort of more ahead of me. So he was like the big influence. Um, and yeah, I feel like I just sort of went into the scene with him and then, met everyone and stuff. And probably about 2 years later, just started putting my own music out. And yeah, I feel like that's where it all started.
Cool. So as a second generation Egyptian, how has that influenced your taste in music or what you go for when it comes to creating music?
So that's a really big part of, I guess, my goal in music, just breaking barriers, because I come from a Coptic Orthodox background. So if anyone knows what that is, it's a very, very traditional religion. Um, and the music video for this single, I'm literally like anxious about how my extended family are gonna receive that. But I feel like that's part of it, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it easier for young Egyptian girls to be able to just put a crop top on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I feel like that's a massive part of my music. I just want to encourage, young girls who are sort of facing the same cultural limits, to just go for it, even though you might not really impress your family that much. They'll get over it, and it needs to be done.
Yeah, for sure. So how has being from Melbourne kind of shaped you as an artist and shaped your sound?
Melbourne's really cool. Melbourne's got a very sort of live aspect to the scene. So my first single was, I feel like, very much on that vibe, Mr. MIA, very live. Catch a Grip is a bit less of that, but yeah, the Melbourne scene is really cool. There's lots of like little different genres and groups and stuff, but the live scene, I feel like, really, really thrives here. But we do have a like a very like bubbling hip hop and rap scene too, and R&B.
Cool, cool. Yeah, I don't know too many artists from Melbourne, but I see that a lot of you guys are coming up, and that's
Yeah,
really dope.
yeah.
So in an earlier interview with Acclaim, you
Hmm.
talked about struggling with self confidence
Yeah.
earlier in your career.
Hmm.
How did you work to get that confidence up?
So lockdown last year was sort of the turning point. I had a lot of time to myself. We were in lockdown for like 8 months. So I was just sitting at home every day, and I had done a few performances before we went into lockdown. And I guess I was just like, I was so sick of coming off stage disappointed. And I was like, okay, well, no one's going to change this for me. So I need to figure out how I'm going to change it. So I would literally go on YouTube and like watch TED Talks about self-confidence. I was reading lots of, I guess, like self-help books. So I learned a lot. I learned a lot about how your mind just functions on the daily. Why I might be thinking, why I might just be, having self-doubt or just lacking self-confidence. So yeah, lockdown last year was like I just learned and learned, And because I spent so much time with myself, I became a lot more okay with being alone and just being with myself. And yeah, I feel like that changed so much. I came out of lockdown and I did a show, and I prepared for the show like I was an athlete. Like for the whole week, I was just working. I work out anyway, but I was like, work out properly this week. I was like, practicing my breathing, doing all my scales, practicing my set over and over. And I didn't even let one bad thought come into my head. Like not even, oh shit, am I gonna get nervous? Like I didn't let myself think about that. And I went on and I was like, all right, you don't even like, do not give one little about anything. Don't care about what anyone's gonna think about what you're doing right now. Just do it. And I just I went on stage and I did that, and it was like my best performance. And I feel like everything has like gotten even better since then.
Speaking of lockdown, how was it, or how is it? Because we're still kind of in a lockdown. So, how was it, or is it working as an artist in lockdown? And I just want to mention that the lockdown in Australia is very different from the lockdown in the
Mm-hmm.
States. Can you share about that experience?
Yeah, so as I said, lockdown last year was for 8 months in Melbourne. So Melbourne sort of copped it the hardest. Yeah, so we were in lockdown for 8 months last year. We're currently in our sixth lockdown since the start of 2020. Lockdown number 6. I've probably been in lockdown for 4 weeks now, and it's looking like we're going to be in for another 4 weeks probably. Creating is very different for everyone. As I said, like lockdown last year for me was, I felt like crucial to my growth. But for some people it's so hard, like I see my friends and they're just struggling. I felt like I had so much time to create because usually, I'll be working or I'll go see my friends. Like I find it sometimes really hard to sacrifice time to make music, if we're not in lockdown. So it was good to be able to, wake up and have my routine. I'd wake up, I'd read, meditate, work out, shower, make my breakfast, like, and I would have this like structured day. But sometimes, when you're in it for 8 months and you're not going out, you really do struggle to find things to write about. Like there is a lack of inspiration. And I think that's what gets people the hardest. And it's really hard to go on social media and see people in other states being able to go out and do their shows and, follow through with like a massive release plan. And we're like, oh, I'm just going to drop a song online and that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in 2020, you released Mr. MIA. Was that pre-pandemic or?
That was right in the middle of lockdown.
Okay.
I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. It went well.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I was gonna say like it reached a lot of people.
Yeah.
It received massive praise and attention from not only like fans but media outlets as well. How did that song come about?
That was a big tribute to Tyrone by Erica Badu. I used to cover that song so much. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to cover this anymore. I just want to have my own song that's like just as good. So I just got into the studio with Michael Cooper, Mickey. We worked so well together. It was literally our first session. Like we had just met each other, and I was like, let's try something like this, like Sade sounds, Erica Badu. And we came up with Mr. MIA, and it just started from there.
Right. And so the music video for MIA, which amassed over 30,000 views, was produced by you.
Yeah.
Where did that creative inspiration come from? Because not only is the song dope, but the visual goes well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I actually had a whole other idea planned for the video, but we ended up being in lockdown. So I think I dropped the song in July, and I don't think we came out of lockdown until the end of October. And I was like, well, I still sort of want to do a music video for this. I dropped the music video about 3 months after, 4 months. Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, I'm just gonna try something. So I went to my cousin's house. She's a makeup artist. I was like, can you do my makeup? I'm gonna film a music video at home. And I have a projector. So I literally just projected the blue and the pink onto that, and I stood in front of it and just danced around.
Wow. So wait, you didn't actually have anyone like filming you or anything
No,
like that?
I filmed it on my phone and I filmed it on photo booth.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a lockdown video.
Wow, that's so creative.
Thank
That's so
you.
creative. I was gonna ask you, so because you are both independent and self-managing,
Yeah.
you wear a lot of hats, of course. Like for example, producing your own video. What are like the positives and negatives of doing so much for yourself?
The positives would be actually learning how to navigate through the industry. I feel like a lot of artists don't actually know what their managers do for them. Um, I sort of jumped into it because most of my friends are being managed. And I was like, oh, like I'm really not getting the same opportunities here just because I don't have a manager. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to learn how to do it myself. And I feel like that was the best thing I could have ever done. It did so much for me. So a positive would be, yeah, definitely learning and being able to connect with people myself and not having someone sort of speak for me. But in saying that, there are a lot of opportunities that I do miss out on because some people, some publications you go on, where their submission forms are, and they'll say, we receive such a high volume. We don't want to hear from artists only if you have a manager or a publicist.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's always like, something that gets in the way, sort of not having representation. Um, so yeah, that was one thing I really thought about for Catch a Grip. I was like, I want to do a lot of it myself, but there's some things that I can't do myself. So I did have someone helping me with the PR stuff, and it's done, yeah, pretty well so far.
Yeah. No, and I like that you admit like it's been fun learning how to do things on my own, but like realizing also where you're, you could use help as well.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you recently released Catch a Grip, featuring emerging artist Pania.
yeah.
I actually got a chance to listen to it. I loved it. Let the community know. Can you just share what we should expect from this single?
Okay, so um, do you mean like what's coming next, or sort of
Well,
more about?
okay. So first, can you talk about the inspiration
Yeah.
behind it? Because I think it really has a powerful message.
Yeah. So the inspiration was all coming from, yeah, my experiences with body image and self-confidence and stuff. And I remember just one day writing the little part of the song, like, no, I'm not the thickest, but I come with love handles. And I feel like that was important because that's sort of the first part of the hook is, I just want to love my body. Won't you let me love my body? And then for the part about the love handles to come in, that's sort of showing where a lot of my insecurities were. Like I was so insecure about my love handles. So it was like I feel like there is sort of that contrast in the lyrics to show there's like there's an insecurity, but I'm trying to get rid of it and like I'm trying to embrace it. So yeah, I really wanted to be able to empower more women to do the same thing. So just love your body. And it was also about when you start to love your body and you start to like express that more through your outfits and stuff. It was like telling people, let me feel sexy.
Right.
Don't criticize what I'm wearing. Just let me feel like this. I'd rather feel like this than to just sort of doubt myself and to feel shit about myself.
Right. Yeah. Because in society, like
Yeah.
you mentioned, it's like sometimes it's hard for those things to kind of coexist. So
Mhm.
that's a really powerful message. So what other things are you going to be doing with the song? I hear a visual is supposed to be coming
Yes. Yes.
to our screens.
Yes. So we filmed a music video right before we went into lockdown again. So I'm very happy I got to, get that done. It'll be coming out in about a month. It's always tricky with the videos. You sort of got to go off the single and how it goes, and
Right.
with the PR stuff. But yeah, I'm hoping to have it out within the next month, and it's very, very special. Um, I think people will love it.
Yeah. So far, how has the reception been?
It's been good. It's been 2 days now. and the song's been added into, like with Mr. MIA, I didn't really get into massive playlists. It was more just like, it was word of mouth that sort of got it out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one's already been added into quite a few like very like playlists with decent followings as well. And I'm hoping within the next week, the cute like the editorial playlist will sort of start picking it up as well.
Yeah. Um, Prior to the pandemic, you played at festivals including Laneway and Golden
Mhm.
Plains. What's your
Yeah.
favorite thing about performing?
Oh, okay. So with the festivals, I actually played them. My partner has a band, and I do the BBs in his band. So that's how I was playing those festivals. Festivals are sick. My own shows. I feel like the best part, always, my favorite part is always hearing people sing the lyrics back. Like, that's just such a special moment. That's what you dream about, as a kid. So to have it finally happening is really cool. Just
Yeah.
like that connection with the audience.
And in addition to your music, you also have the opportunity to partner with like multiple brands, Adidas being one of them, and Libra being another one. How
Yeah.
have these partnerships kind of helped you as an artist and creative?
Libra was a massive learning experience. Libra was really cool. That was such a huge opportunity. And it was also, yeah, it was a massive learning experience because I was dealing with that without a manager. So, it's a corporate thing,
Yeah.
big contract and stuff. So it was, there were like 120 emails in the chain. It was pretty full on, but it was a really cool experience. And to get the reception that it did after I announced that was really cool too. Adidas, I was about to film that, and we went into lockdown a few days later. A few days before. So I actually didn't get to do the Adidas thing. I thought we were going to. We were trying to work it out, but it just wasn't possible with the lockdown. We can't. There was going to be a big group of us, and we couldn't meet up. So I haven't done that. Hopefully, in the future, there'll be more brand collaborations.
Yeah.
But yeah,
How important do you think that is for an artist?
I think it's so important. Yeah, I feel like for an artist to have the backing of, a corporate brand, there's so much cross promotion, and it just brings just grows the audience so much, and you'll have other brands sort of looking at those promotions, picking out the artists. So
Yeah.
it's just an opportunity to get more opportunities.
Right. And I think it also like shows how well rounded you are as well, you know? Um, so what other projects do you have underway?
Ooh. So I have a few, well, not a few, oh, I do actually, a few collaborative projects that are coming. Um, there's a group I have with my partner, two of our friends who are in their own group, and then another partner who is another friend who is a solo act. And we're called PIIMP. We haven't actually launched yet. We're hoping to go live by the end of the year. That's really exciting. We've got um, the first tape coming out. We have lots and lots of music ready to go, basically. So yeah, there's the collaborative project that'll be coming out soon, and I'm hoping next year I'll be able to release my own body of work because I have a pretty solid track list right now. I just, it's all about fleshing out those tracks.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
I'm super excited for that.
me too.
Earlier, you mentioned how you kind of gotten over having like low self confidence when it came to your music. What advice would you give to an artist or creative that is struggling with releasing their craft or their art because of their lack of confidence?
I would probably say turn inwards. That was the turning point for me. Just learning about why you feel that way, um, and making the effort to feel good. Like if you don't feel good, why don't you feel good? Like, are you not happy with your body because for me, it was, I wasn't happy with my body. So I started working out every day. You got to take the steps um, to help yourself get to a place where you will feel good. It's not just going to happen, magically.
Right. I like that. I like that. What are your ultimate goals for the next year or so?
Ooh. I would probably want to get on a festival lineup as a solo act.
Okay.
Um, Definitely just want to keep breaking barriers down, just cultural barriers, and I would sort of want that at the forefront of, my branding, that I'm Egyptian and it wasn't easy to come out of school and like not go to uni like my parents would want me to. And just say I want to do music, and then to be doing music and be wearing what I wear and singing about what I sing about too. So that's a massive goal, just to keep going with that. I teach music, so just yeah, it was weird last year throughout lockdown. As I started really healing and learning and growing, I was like, I want to mentor. I want to mentor young artists. I want to make it easier for them to be able to come up, because it hasn't been so easy so far, without a manager and stuff. And yeah, and then I got this teaching job this year, and I teach about 170 students in a week. So I'm like, I'm a mentor basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, just to keep going with that, just to keep helping the younger community and encouraging them to do music.
Are you teaching at like a school or
Yeah.
like a high
Yeah.
school
So
or elementary school?
so I teach at primary schools. I teach at 3 different schools in a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and each school is a different day.
Nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice. And then it's cool like that they can see someone that's kind of close to their age,
Yeah.
not super close, but kind of close so that they can kind of like get that,
Mhm.
idea. Because I think like as when we were students ourselves, a lot of like
Mhm.
my teachers, my music teachers were a lot older, and they
Yeah.
weren't working directly in the industry. So I think that's really dope.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us today and
No,
just kind of
thank
sharing
you.
more. No, 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 no. Thank you. Just sharing more about your journey and what's gotten you there. And we're super excited to see what you do in the next year or so. So please share with the audience where they
Mhm.
can stream your music.
Cool. So I'm on Spotify just under CD. I know there's probably a lot of other CDs. I always end up with the wrong music on my profile. So yeah, just all streaming platforms really. YouTube. I've got the Vivo channel now, and I've got the my personal channel too. Yeah, you can stream my music anywhere. CD.
Thank you, CD.
Thank you.